Hi there, this is Jim Walker with Jim Walker Archery. I'm going to talk to you about fletching. So you see this little arrow right here? This was hand fletched. I'm going to show you how easy it is without any gear or equipment or anything. Just a little hint, this is what it looks like. A little piece of tape with markings on it. Here we go. So what we're going to do here is we're going to reverse engineer an arrow. The back of the arrow has a certain amount of space between each of the fletchings, and in this particular case it's 2/8 of an inch. Your arrow is going to be probably larger, and just measure it. And you can measure it easy enough by just taking a piece of tape like this, or taking a piece of masking tape and finding one of your best arrows, best fletched arrows, and then grab a pen and then mark, click, click, take it down, little ruler, and that's your spacing between your arrow fletchings. I've already figured out that the difference between the arrow point, the fletching, backside of the fletching, is 2/8 of an inch. So it's a simple matter of reverse engineering and then putting the feathers on it. So we're going to go ahead and take a piece of tape. Go ahead and grab this. I'm going to take this little piece of tape like this. It doesn't matter, you have to be exact, just rip it off, throw it on a piece of hardwood or whatever surface you like to work on, and then take your handy dandy ruler and then find your spots. I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to go through this whole tedious process with you. I think you'll get the idea. But the bottom line is you put your ruler on the tape, mark out every 2/8 of an inch about 6 or so times, and then what will happen is that you'll end up with a nice piece of tape like this, with all your marks 2/8 inches apart. So now it's a simple matter of taking the same piece of tape, and I prefer this 1/2 inch masking tape. I find that works best. Again, this is we're going to go ahead and just use a blank piece of masking tape on this, and just roll it on there nice and neat. Don't have to be exact. All right, so there we go. Take your little piece of masking tape, your piece of tape that you've already done your 2/8 inch markers on, and then take your fletching, the back side of your fletching, and actually wrap it around the base of it. I'm going to pretend like there's no fletching on here. I'm simply going to place my little marker next to it, and I'm going to write directly on the tape that I have on shaft already. Just going to go ahead and mark my little 1/8 of an inch, and then my next 1/8 of an inch, so it'll look like this. Mark, mark. And the reason why we're doing this is because I want to reuse my little marker tape, and so there you go. Now you may not be able to see it, but there's a little mark on this side of the fletching, and there's a little mark on this side of the fletching. And I bet you what would happen if I put it over there. It'd be the same distance, right? 2/8 of an inch. Tape. I'm not going to show you how to put tape on a fletching, but it's simple enough. You simply take your feather, cut off your piece of fletching tape, put it on here, and then take your little feather, start from the back, put it where you put your little marking at, and then either make it a straight fletching or a helical, whatever you like, and then you press it down for each of the 3 feathers. That's it. All you need is a piece of tape with markers on it, a shaft, some fletching tape. Done. Just taught you how to fletch an arrow in the field with a little piece of tape, a few feathers, and a shaft, of course. Well, hope you enjoyed. Take care.